We are a few weeks into Season 14, and overall, it has been a bad season. The fixes that Blizzard put out were good fixes, but it was a little too late for many players 3 weeks in. We're a few weeks away from hearing about Season 15 changes and the PTR that we know is coming from a blue post recently. With all of that said, I have prepared a list of my top 14 items that would need to be addressed going into Season 15. Before I go into that, make sure to subscribe and check out my channel for more Diablo content. First on my list is bug fixes. There were more bugs than I can talk about here. Some have been in the game longer than this whole season. Rogue bugs still exist, which ruins the leaderboard chase. Spiritborn bug adding more damage than intended. Set bonuses that stop working on multiple classes. Barbs killing other players in PvP. Bug fixes should always be a priority and fixed ASAP. We know for a fact that they are aware because they put out a blue post about some of these bugs and fixes that won't go live until Season 15. Why? I have no idea why they have to wait. It just, if you know there's bugs, let's go ahead and fix them now. Why do we need to wait till another season? My second reason is picking up materials of any kind. I hate doing material reserve dungeons versus the obol, gold, or gems for one reason. I have to pick up all the damn materials. Some items are auto picked up while others are not. My proposed solution is to just vacuum all non-gear items up to your character. I don't know why obols and gold and all that can be picked up by your pet, but yet materials for the cube or crafting mats, they lay on the ground, and sometimes there's a lot and I have to go pick them all up. So hopefully they can get us a vacuum so we can just suck all those items up. And the third thing that I would like to see fixed for Season 15 is ground clutter or graphic density options. Right now, the ground gets cluttered with graphics and spells that I can't see anything going on. You can accidentally die to explosions because you have no idea they're even there. The hardest stone in the pit is invisible to your eye until everything goes away. It's just not fun to not be able to see the ground. Especially maybe as a warlock, I might be complaining a bit more about this because it seems like every ability we have covers the entire ground and we just can't see anything. So my solution is just adding an option for clarity of the spells so that maybe we can turn down some of the graphics or alter it, kind of like in WoW, where we can change some of the graphical effects so we could still see the ground and see the things that are going on. Number 4 thing I'd like to see fixed. This could be a me problem with the loot filters, but please quit mailing me all the items that I didn't pick up in my loot filter. I have a filter set for only the ancestral items with a GA. I keep getting mailed all my other items that I didn't pick up that were also ancestral, just with no GAs, or the uniques that are 850, they still get mailed to me even though I have a filter set. So I'm not sure why this happens, but please review the loot filters to make sure they do what I'm setting them up to do. Again, this could be a me problem, but this is something that for the whole last season and this season I've been encountering. Number 5 on my list is crafting materials cap. Why is there a cap of 999? You can try to go above it by hitting the arrow up and it would be tedious. Also, it doesn't matter because the cap is 999. It actually doesn't take your materials when you go above 999. Why is there a cap on this whenever if you want Forgotten Souls, you need to do tens of thousands of materials? Gem crafting, I did a 25 million gem craft and converted gems over to another gem type, and it took forever because I had to keep going 999, push the button, 999, push the button, 999, push the button, and it just doesn't make sense. So is there a way to get this lifted? I mean, to me, it just seems like an easy fix. Just change something to 9,999 or 99,999. I don't know, but it just seems odd that 999 is the thing. All right, number 6 on my list is vendors at the end of activities. Why do some activities get vendors at the end, like Echoing Hatred, but others don't, like layer bosses? I don't need a vendor really at the end of the Echoing Hatred because it's over and I don't need to go back. Even if I want to TP back, I can get my loot and then come back over. The mission's over, so I don't need to go back. I do need one on layer bosses because I have to go back to salvage, go back to the portal to go to the boss again, back and forth over and over. And this is especially bad on the Corrupted Reaper, where I get a massive amount of seals and charms that I really don't need from that boss. I hate having to go back to town every couple of kills because my inventory is full. Now, before you say I can loot filter that stuff out, no, I can't. I need mats for my next reason. And that next reason is set charms. Can we get a more meaningful affixes on set charms? Impairment reduction, potion healing, gold drop, bonus XP, material drop, they're all pretty useless. Resistance is good, and some of the lucky hit procs like freeze are good, but overall it is a feel bad to get your perfect double GA and one part of it is gold drop. It just doesn't feel right. Also, it's not engaging gameplay to have to keep gathering useless seals, like my last point, just to salvage and spend tens of thousands on one charm reroll just to get what you want. Can we maybe convert one charm to another without losing what's the stats on that charm? Example is, if I have a fur with max resource GA and another GA on it, and I want a FOBA because that's the only one I'm missing. I have a double GA and all the other ones. Instead of having to re-roll another 50k materials just to get that one GA, or not get that one GA, which I happen to be, I re-rolled one for 50k materials, didn't even get the non-GA max for resource on any of those for the one I needed. Being able to take that one and just change it to another for a cost, obviously, maybe substantial, that's fine, but being able to say, hey, I have a double GA fur and I want a double GA FOBA because I don't have one, that would be nice to be able to do. Okay, for my number 8 reason is seals. Now, I did separate this from charms because they have two different problems. First off is mythic seals. Can we get a more consistent farm for these? Maybe Mephisto, since he says he can drop mythic seals, but there's really not a farm. Like, I have to just hope it happens. I think it took me 60 hours this season before I saw one drop. Now, I've seen several drops since then, but it took a while and I needed it. Mythic Seal should also drop max roll, just like our unique mythics. I shouldn't get a 16% damage roll when 20 is the max. For legendary seals, why did we even have a 5 slot? I get annoyed when I'm picking up legendary after legendary seal. They're all 5 slots. They have great bonuses, great perks, but they're useless to me. 5 slots should be for rare. 4 should be for magic. So all legendary should always be 6. Also for legendary seals, I'd like to look at the perks on them and what sets they work for. I have rarely found a seal that worked with my set that also had good stats on it. Can we find a way to re-roll seals like we do charms or something like that? That way I have a chance of getting something good for my set as well as the bonus and the stats. I have better chances of actually winning the real lottery than getting a good roll on the stat and getting a set perk that I actually want to use in the perk for the seal. So number 9 on my list is Mephisto's loot table. What is up with the loot on this guy? I have killed him probably 50 times and I've never seen a mythic and I've never seen a mythic seal drop. Even though his location says mythic seals have a higher chance to drop here, mythics have a higher chance to drop here. I haven't really done it after the most recent patch, but regardless, I've killed him enough times that I should have seen something. Especially on Torment 12, where I've killed him the most at. This dude requires a mythic key to get the loot. It's not like you just walk in and plop down and get some loot. Like, you actually have to have mythic key to even open the chest. So what is the fix for Mephisto's loot? I think they should copy what they did for the mythic tributes in the Undercity, and on higher torment levels you should have a higher chance of mythic, including seals, and on Torment 12, one being guaranteed. This would make it so much more exciting when you see one of the Crux drop, because you know if you're on Torment 12 for sure, you're about to see a mythic, possibly a mythic seal drop from your next time fighting Mephisto. So number 10 on the list is starting to get a little bit more meat and potatoes of changes that need to be done, which is class balance. Now, I'm not saying that we need to completely overhaul all of the classes, because I don't think they're that far apart, but there are a couple of classes that are a little bit further below the others, and a couple that are a little bit above. I think Rogue and Barb having extra weapon slots makes them a bit better all the time, because they can wear extra gems and they can have extra aspects on that other classes don't get. So just looking at the leaderboards on the tower as far as class balance goes, Barbarians, you top 10 are 144 to 147. Necro was 130 to 136. Sorcerers 141 to 146. Rogue has a bug, so we're going to look for real ones. 141 to 146. So Rogue and Barb are on par. Necro is about 10 behind. Sorka's on par. Druids are 143 to 145, so they're on par. The Spiritborn, now again, there is a bug with the Spiritborn right now that is helping with this. So you have 143 to 146. They are on par with the bug. You then have Paladins that are 131 to 136, so they're about the same as the Necromancer. And right now the Warlock is 139 to 142. So they're a little bit behind these four. They're a little bit ahead of those. So overall, I think class balance is fairly close, but we do need to bring up a couple of the bottom tier classes to get them back on par with everyone else. So maybe do a pass over all the classes. Ones with less weapon slots, maybe give them some enhancements to gems or aspects, offset the weapons. I'm sure that's already kind of done in the game already, but maybe that just needs to be reanalyzed. And then maybe a Paragon revamp is needed. Some classes have amazing boards, while others it's just meh. Every board is like that. So I think Necro's like that. So overall, just overall class rebalancing, just looking at why some classes are high and why some classes are low, and looking at how we can fix that. So number 11 on my list is monster affixes. So if you're pushing the tower, you will really notice this. On lower difficulties, maybe not so much, but definitely on pushing content like the pit and tower. I do have a guide on all the current affixes here. If you are trying to do high level pushing, you will definitely understand what I'm talking about. Some affixes just destroy you, while others do nothing. I can never see the damn earthquake orb until it's right underneath me, blowing up and already destroying me. Reprisal feels like it hits way too hard. Yes, I can dodge them. These are like rocks they throw, but they're hard to see, and they just hit way too hard, like when I'm hitting them. Lifelink is way too strong. They have more life than anything else in there when they're combined. It's like I'm spending more time trying to kill them, so you just ignore them. Corrupted orbs, you can't see the little tiny orbs sometimes, especially when there's all that ground clutter like we mentioned earlier. So they're hard to deal with. Lightning Enchanted is just awful if you're melee or in melee range. I mean, these like guys that just shoot lightning balls at you when you start hitting them up close. So those are just a few of the ones that I feel are needing to be tuned. There's a lot more, but then there's other ones that don't do anything. That Shadow Enchanted, Frenzy, Berserker, I feel like I never have to worry about those, right? They just kill the mobs and ignore them. So I would like to see just an overall tuning pass along with visibility on, or a notification that something is going on. Just something that tells me earthquake has shown up. I don't know. I'm just thinking here outside the box, because there's just not enough visibility in the game. And this goes back to our point on ground clutter, that I can see what's going on. So number 12 on my list is Echoing Hatred. I have 2 points of feedback on this. One is the drop rates are too low. And two is that it takes too long to actually have fun doing it. Right now I have one that I'm not doing on purpose, because I hate standing around for 5 or 10 minutes waiting for it to get to level 100 plus so that I can actually play the game and do something. I just would like to have a shortcut that I could choose relative to my highest pit tier, like start at 75 or start at 100. I don't know, but something so that we don't have to like wait so long to get it going, and we also don't get penalized in loot for having that shortcut. All right, number 13 on the list is a really big one and a hot topic: account-wide war plans. There's no incentive right now to start new characters because it's worse than leveling the character. You could boost your character to 70 with the caches. What if you just did it the old-fashioned way? You could still level your character and you'll be like 2 points into the war plan and it's a fail bad. You get to level 70, like a Paragon 293, and I can't have any fun yet because I gotta go grind out the war plans on that character just to have fun. My proposed fix is just do account-wide war plans, or at least a catch-up mechanic if another character has already unlocked a higher tier in that tree. So if I'm a level 7 in this Helltide ability, maybe there's a super catch-up, or you get a couple extra points to start with. You start like at 3 out of 7 or 4 out of 7. I mean, something is better than nothing, but what we have right now, it just takes forever to unlock more points in the war plan for your secondary characters on the account. So number 14 on the list is a highly requested feature: more stash space. This is one that I don't think ever ends because there's always a need for more stash for all of the new items and things that they add every single season. This season happens to be uniques that we're keeping to move over to random mythics. Next season that should be fixed when they convert us over to the direct conversion to mythics. But I also keep a lot of GA items or items I want to just test transfigures on. I'm like, let me go throw this one in the transfigure. Okay, let's see what happens, right? So you're like, I got some GAs, I want to mess with it. So overall, I think that adding at least 2 extra slots would alleviate some of the concern from players so that they could keep more gear. Also, if you want to play more than one build, you want to have those extra space so you can have a few different items in your inventory just in case something changes or you want to play something different. So 2 extra slots at minimum, maybe more. You guys let me know. I am sure there are many more items to fix, but we can only list so many here. Please leave comments below on anything that I left out. Hopefully Blizzard will hear all the feedback and make Season 15 awesome.